and we should be live now. Hello everyone, how's your day going? We have JJK 255, the VIZ is out, the official translations are out, and I will be reacting to it live. Granted, I may have already seen some pages of it on Twitter, some people are posting certain translations. It doesn't look too great. Oh, the wallpaper engine crashed. Is it still... No, it's still good. That's a bit odd. It said it crashed, but no, everything's still fine. Seven Sins, good to see you, my guy. What's up? Always good to catch you when you can catch the stream. Oh, there we go. There's the wallpaper. It should just be a blank background. Let me get the wallpaper engine back up. I don't know why it crashed when the stream started. I'll get it back up. So I know the background, there's nothing there. It's just emptiness. It's darkness. I'll get something there. Actually, cancel. Let me get something classic then. How about Gojo? Maybe Gojo? I mean, who doesn't like Gojo? Alright? He's a good guy to look at. And he's got the 6 eyes, fluffy hair. I mean, yeah, from what I've seen on Twitter, people posting the John Wary translations, it doesn't look too good so far. But hopefully it's good though. Hopefully it's good. I have some hope that the rest of it's not too bad. But knowing John Wary, knowing the terrorism that spread with a VIZ translation, not VIZ, VIZ is great. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. It's specifically John Wary, because of other works that he's worked on. There's actually like a whole, apparently, Blaziken told me there's a whole subreddit dedicated to works that John Wary has actually messed up in translations, which is incredible. Like, you should, oh my goodness, that is like insane. Early Kaio, yeah, that's right, we're early. Not late, yeah, right, see, we can be early every now and then, it happens. Eternal Flame, good to see my guy Eternal Flame here too. Gojo, image please. I had to put the Sukuna back on. The Sukuna one is cold. I love this one. I was wondering, did it crash because of the Sukuna one, or is it for another reason? Let me put the Sukuna one for now. Need you to cook Hakari like how you did during Sukuna vs Gojo? I mean, I've been cooking him already. I've escaped late Kaio. Yeah, I'm early, man. We're still 6 minutes early, even right now. Biggest switch up? It is me. It's just me, man. I switch up like the seasons. That's how I change up. I mean, one day I'm supporting this character, the next day I'm hating them, and then the day after that I'm back on their agenda. Like, you never know me. You never know. Anyway, Yuji, yeah, we'll see some flowing red scale Sukuna. We'll see something. I mean, he might even have his own. I mean, if we go with the anime-only stuff that Choso was doing against Kenjaku, oof, oh man, we are in for something crazy with Yuji. Alright. Oh, the memes? No, the memes, I mean, maybe, who knows? I mean, I already did make commission the Hakari one. I might make some more, who knows? Like, actually make it myself. Who knows? Alright, I got the VIZ in front of me. We are on page 1. Alright, page 1. So, Sukuna says he saved the teleportation boy, so, John Wary, he's not saying brat, he goes with boy for some reason, with his curse technique, so we're used to that. Next page. By the way, I've already read the chapter. I mean, I've made a whole video on Hakuna Lana, so, on that. And I've done like 2 streams on JJK 255 already, so it's not a reaction to the chapter itself, it's a reaction to the VIZ translations, and also like basically going over the chapter with a fine comb after I've already gone through it so many times, so yeah. I'm doing okay, thank you, Luzuko Jack. How are you doing? How is everyone doing, by the way? Please no Urume glazing the stream. I mean, it's a Kaio classic. I love Urume. That's my goat, that's my monarch, alright? Urume is gonna pack Hakari. I cannot wait for Urume to freeze Hakari. I'm there. I will be there. Choso finally doing something. And Choso tanked a slash. I'm just saying. He tanked a slash. It is what it is. So, Miguel says, no thank you. An opponent who could beat Satoru Gojo, he's on a whole other level. So why would I fight him? True. I mean, look at the beating Gojo gave Miguel. Why would he want to fight something like that? It's basically suicide. Like, literally. Well, that beast is bound to get tired. That's when you help finish him off. What, like a status bar in a video game? So okay, so he's saying like, I mean, he just said what he's saying, actually, I don't even need to describe it. Your Japanese is getting better, nice vocabulary. So I guess Miguel's Japanese has improved since the time skip, which is good to know, I guess. Don't know what we'll do with that information. We expect the damage from Tengen merging with the people of Japan to spread outside of the country. This makes sense since, he's about to explain actually. Even if a giant cursed spirit like Godzilla came to my homeland, it'd be better than fighting Sukuna. Again, I think this is misdirection from Gege. I could be wrong. I could look like, I'm just an idiot. When the merger actually finally does come, if it comes, I think it will. It's been hyped up too much for it to not come. But I do think that the merger is going to be a humanoid-sized figure. and everyone like saying it's going to be this massive creature, or Kenjaku saying, you know, in his own imagery, he thinks it's going to be huge, like it's towering over skyscrapers and such. Maybe it'll be like that in the beginning, but maybe the actual merger will be placed into a vessel, that vessel being, you know, maybe Yuji Itadori, and who knows. I mean, Yuji's been hyped up as the perfect vessel, so that would be kind of crazy if he is that. Wait, Miguel supports Duolingo? Is that what he's saying? People think, oh, OBS just, I mean, we should be good. Are we good? I think we're good, guys. Maybe the stream just crashed for it. I hope it didn't. My internet just kind of bugged out for a bit. Sorry about that. Okay. Anyway, back to reading Miguel going off with his monologue. Why do Japanese people think that cheerful black guys can survive anything? I have to refuse this request for the sake of... Oh, for the sake of the other brothers as well. So, and Wallpaper Engine crashed again. Oh man. What is going on this time? Why did Wallpaper Engine crash? That's a bit odd. Let me, that is odd. Why does it keep crashing? But I do want to touch upon the whole... Yeah, I know the background's black. Let me open up Wallpaper Engine again. I don't know why it keeps crashing. That is a bit odd. It's never done that before since I've had it. But yeah, on the whole Miguel stuff, it is a bit weird how he's saying that, as if like Geto's plan wouldn't, you know, by proxy kill all of these like said brothers that he does like wants to protect or not have die. You know what I mean? It is a bit odd, and I've seen people argue that maybe with Geto's plan, he's only planning on killing people in Japan, because those are the only people who give cursed energy. But we know there are still, like, even if it's a tiny amount, even regardless of Tengen's barrier, other people still do give cursed energy, even if it's a minuscule amount. So if Geto truly wanted to go through his plan, let's put Yuji up here. If Geto truly wanted the world to be free of non-sorcerers, and that was his whole plan, non-sorcerers, that was the whole point of his plan, he would still need to kill even people who aren't Japanese people, for the sake of his plan. It's a bit weird, I can't lie, like, how he was going with Geto's plan, and he even says how Geto's going to be in hell, like he knows it's a bad thing. It does make me question his character a bit, but, you know, it is what it is. You're cutting in and out? Yeah, it's tough. I think my internet's bugging. Wallpaper Engine's crashing. This is, you know, it's a rough start, but, you know, we'll get there. It's okay. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, alright? Shout out Subaru's mom. Anyway. Yeah, and what Yuta says, you've never been cheerful, so fair enough. And then Miguel says, Gojo should come here and ask himself. If you're Japanese, you should be polite. Yuta says, do you want me to beg you to do it? And then Miguel's obviously, he's teasing him, saying, now you're angry at me? Oh, I'm so scared. And Yuta's like, he's a bit annoyed, he's like, oh, I'm not angry. And LaRue talks to Miguel alone. And let's see. What would you do, LaRue? I'm with you, I just wanted Suguru to be king. Again, this infatuation with Geto for some reason. I don't know why they're so infatuated with him. Yeah, why Miguel followed Geto and called Gojo on discrimination? It's insane. I mean, no, discrimination's cool. What's insane is the whole Geto following him on killing basically, like 99.99% of the Japanese population. And Geto eventually, like, again, I know Tengen's barrier is out there, and I guess like Japanese people are different, you know, at least from what the President of the United States was saying. And Cyrus, the energy minister or whatever, like when they were talking to Kenjaku in chapter 200, or no, 199 or whatever. Even so, regular people, even in other countries, still do give cursed energy, even if they're different. Like, it's just a smaller amount. And they did say that in death, everyone does give cursed energy at the moment of death. Everyone's does. So, like, if Geto truly wanted his plans to be fulfilled, he would need to kill every single person that's not a sorcerer. Even though, you know, it's not as much for people who aren't Japanese, but he still needs to do it. It's a bit crazy. I don't know. Like, it's very odd. But, it is what it is. It really is what it is, you know. Geto is just crazy like that, and he had people that wanted to follow him because he's got high charisma, I guess. Alright. Oh, let's see what Seven Sin is saying. Blaziken had a theory that sorcerers like Geto's adopted daughters are treated bad in non-sorcerer places, so that's why Miguel wanted non-sorcerers gone. Right, you know, that's fair. Nobody likes the way Geto's daughters are treated, but the solution to that isn't like mass genocide of every, like, 99.99% of the population on Earth. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's such an extreme reaction. Even, I'm not saying like their anger is misplaced because it comes from a place of injustice, right? So, or unjust, right? So the anger comes from a righteous place, but the reaction to it isn't. Like, that's not the right way to react to that certain scenario. Like, okay, we gotta kill every single non-sorcerer because they treated the twins badly like that, or generally sorcerers get treated badly. Like, not everyone is gonna treat the sorcerers badly, if that makes sense. Geto would spare me? I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that one. Alright, but yeah, like, let's see. It was all for Geto, taking care of Okotsu, paid them back for overlooking me in Shinjuku. I'm done with this country. So yeah, okay, we already know that's why Gojo let him go, everyone let him off, because, you know, he took care of Yuta. You and I, as well as Mimiko, Nanako, Manami, and Toshi... I always butcher his name. Toshihisa. So if I'm not mistaken, it's the general guy. All loved Suguru. And if you don't know he's a general, it was said in supplementary material that he was the general of Geto's army. It's the guy that we actually saw in Shibuya. But I don't know if that was ever said in the story. I think it was just an extra info that was said. Shibuya, huh? Are you suggesting I get payback? Obviously referring to Sukuna killing the two twins. Or reclaim Geto's body from Kenjaku. No, what I'm saying is let's mourn him together. But instead of going to his grave to lay flowers and reminisce, we'll fight, look to the heavens and pray for his soul. Yeah, but it'll actually be hell, so cooking it. He's absolutely cooking down. I have a condition. I don't want to fight in a group against an opponent who can use a domain. We'll only join after Gojo and Okotsu lose and Sukuna can't use his domain anymore. Us, including me, the more the merrier. So go back to the present day, and here we go. He doesn't have his domain. Gojo has left a nice souvenir. You mean a passing gift, obviously, because Gojo's dead. Furthermore, his reverse curse technique is weak, and of his four arms, the lower left one is incomplete and the lower right one isn't combat functional, and his heart hasn't fully healed as Sukuna smiles. I almost feel bad coming in and stealing the glory as Sukuna goes like intense. You can see his eyes pop, he's got the veins, and I do believe this is Sukuna who's ripping the building apart because it does look like these square cubes that are formed from a dismantle cut, so I think that's actually from Sukuna as he rips the building apart, and LaRue and Miguel obviously forced to come down. Sukuna charges at LaRue, with LaRue using a very similar technique to Jinichi. So Jinichi from the Zenin clan, in case you don't remember, he had a very similar curse technique to this, but his had multiple hands and fists as he fired down punches at Maki. It does make me question if they have the same curse technique, or if it's just different and it looks the same. But it's very similar. It is incredibly similar at the absolute bare minimum, and Jinichi made multiple fists, and fists that were actually bigger. Though we do see that, no, actually it was just bigger, actually, even with what comes next. So LaRue fires off his curse technique, it grabs Sukuna, the telekinesis hand, and it palms him into the building, or crushing the building, but of course LaRue gets cut in the hand, and then Sukuna sends a dismantle cutting LaRue's stomach or chest. But and then we see, obviously, Miguel, the goat, he's basically like breakdancing. I don't know how he's dodging it all like this, like he's doing limbo moves like he's in the Matrix or something. But I mean, we do know, actually, we'll find out later. But he's just dodging them all casually, and obviously goes in for some hand-to-hand with Sukuna. And we get some definitions. So let's see how the VIZ actually describes it. LaRue's curse technique is Heart Catch is his name. It grabs the target of the curse technique. He can restore the virtual hand after it's destroyed multiple times, but 1/10 of the damage returns to the main body, which is LaRue, so we already know this. Then Sukuna says, not a very interesting curse technique. The one with real appeal is Miguel adores, so he's pronounced it, John Ware's pronounced it differently from any other translator. Curse technique, prayer song. So, prayer song. Why prayer song? Is that like an accurate... Wait, what? I'm pretty sure it's Hakuna Lana, and I thought, I may be mistaken, but I thought that meant no curses. Prayer song? What? Hey, Mr. 60, good to see you, man, good to see you. That's a bit odd. Okay, anyway, prayer song, so that's what the VIZ is calling it. The beat he keeps with his body drives away curses and strengthens his physical abilities. Miguel's curse technique has no domain and basically buffs and debuffs his... Wait, this is a horrible, wait. What is this? No. This is a poor translation from John Wary. He's saying Miguel's curse technique has no domain and basically buffs and debuffs himself as an opponent. That's not what it was actually saying. It's saying how do I say this? Without being a domain, it's buffing and debuffing his opponents. He's worded it wrong. He's worded it in a way that implies that Miguel can never get a domain. I'm not saying Miguel has a domain, but he can get a domain. Anyone can get a domain as long as they have a curse technique. He's worded it very poorly, implying that like Miguel can never have a domain, which is wrong. That's just incorrect. It's convenient but not very scary. Hey, why do you know my curse technique? Seeing it gave me a basic idea. What's really frightening is your physique, so I'm curious how VIZ is going to go about this, John Wary. That's because 99% of sorcerers are Japanese. On top of your different bone structure and musculature, you have cursed energy reinforcement, and that alone makes you a threat. That's a racist stereotype. Not all black men are athletic. I'm not special because I'm black, I'm special because I'm me. Alright, fair enough, he's calling him out on his racism, and Gojo says sorry, and Miguel says I forgive you. Would he even be a threat to you, Gojo-sensei? I don't know if I can explain it well, but if Miguel and I competed physically without curse technique, so I want to remind you that this is what a lot of people for some reason are misunderstanding, where even with the TCB and VIZ is saying it right as well. Gojo here is saying, even if Miguel doesn't have his curse technique, Hakuna and Lana activated, he's still like stronger than me in terms of physical combat. But for some reason people are like skipping this part, and they only think, oh, it's with the Hakuna Lana that he's stronger than Gojo if Gojo just has cursed energy reinforcement. No, Gojo's saying if we both didn't have cursed technique. So this is if both of them were only using cursed energy manipulation and cursed energy reinforcement, that they would actually be, well, Miguel would be stronger than him. Because Gojo says, I could beat linear movement, but he would probably, would probably lose in point movement. So what is this garbage translation, by the way? What he's basically saying is Miguel hits harder and would actually win in a short fight, but if it goes on for longer, I would win, obviously, because he has 6 eyes, so he'd last longer, and, that's actually pretty much the reason. I don't know what this, because again, there are 4 translations explaining this part. I could beat linear movement, but would lose in point movement. This is the worst one, I'm not gonna lie. This is the absolute worst one, holy crap. I think Kaisen Backup had the best version of this, and obviously after that TCB, and then, even the leaks are better than this, what the hell. Alright, let me switch the song up as well. Let's go to Ganyu. VIZ uses... actually, Denji, I would trust Google Translate more than John Wary. If you told me you used Google Translate, I'd be like, damn, more reliable than VIZ. Obviously, Miguel, he grabs one of Sukuna's hands, and then he deflects another slash, and he punches him square in the gut, and then he elbows him. Choso behind, silhouette, looking like a demon, fires a piercing blood, and Choso actually gets hit with a dismantle. Tanks, of course, because his reinforcement, like everyone else, has buffed up, it's very strong. And then, of course, Yuji comes crashing down, bringing Sukuna to his knees, to his very knees. You're still here, Sukuna's unamused. And this is actually a part I saw this is something I saw on Twitter, Mia talk about, because John Ray just messed it up again here. Twice in this one page. Dismantle is a slash that cuts the world and has a broadened curse technique target. This is just incorrect. Dismantle doesn't cut the world. It's a world-cutting attack of the dismantle. Because the way John Wary is wording it is that dismantle always cuts the world. No, it's not that dismantle doesn't cut the world itself. It's when you apply the world-cutting targeting technique on a dismantle that it cuts the world. It's just worded poorly. I don't know why he's worded this way. So activating it requires Enma, and apparently it's not Enma, it's Enmatan, is actually what it's trying to say. Not Enma, so I don't know why I said that. Requires the Enma palm sign, but it's just his domain activation. Activating, and here it says as well, when activating Malevolent Shrine, However, before transforming, when he had half his arms, Sukuna imposed a binding vow on the activation conditions so he could cut Gojo, obviously because he was missing one of his hands against Gojo, so he needed to do that binding vow. Now he must satisfy both the palm sign, curse chant conditions, for the slash that cuts the world, and direct the curse technique with his hand sign. So, this has actually confused a lot of people thinking, wait, does he need to do all of it at once? Does he need to do the chants, the hand signs, and fire it off? Because that wouldn't have been possible against Yuta, because he only had 2 hands at the time when he fired against Yuta. It wouldn't have been possible to do the hand signs and to also palm fire it at Yuta as we saw, because, it was off screen when he actually did the chants. My theory is, and this is the only way it could have been possible that he fired a world-ending slash on Yuta, is that to actually fire the world-ending slash, he doesn't need to do it all in one succession, or at least not all at the same time, but he just needs to do it all, probably in at least a specific order. So as long as he does the chant and he does the hand sign, after he's done those 2, then he can actually let go of the hand sign and fire off of his palm. That's how I'm interpreting it, for it to make sense. That's the interpretation that I'm going with, and then that could explain how he actually fired off the world-ending slash against Yuta, and it would explain why it cut Yuta in half, but not Rika, and Yuji, because we saw Yuji didn't get cut in half. It's because for it to be a world-ending slash, given the conditions now that Sukuna has, after he has to make the binding vow of Gojo, he needs to point the palm and, obviously direct over the palm and the fingers to who he's firing at. So he fired it at Yuta, but because it wasn't pointing at Yuji, it wasn't a world-ending cut on Yuji. But it was still a strengthened cut because he still did the chant, so that still was buffing it. So that's why Yuji got taken out of commission, because it was still buffed, but it wasn't the world-ending cut for Yuji, but it was for Yuta. So there we go. If any of that made sense. Let's see. Next page. So we just, in the same page actually, Sukuna's hand just disappears, like it just vanishes. And then even after a hit of a black flash, Maki senpai, and obviously Maki's smiling maniacally. And she does do the Daido slash, so she does an air slash. It's what Daido actually did, if you remember, to Naoya. Kind of like how Zoro does in One Piece, if you've seen that. At least Yuta has a domain. Yeah, Yuta has a domain. I didn't know I need to point that out, but yeah, shout out Yuta. He's got one of the best domains. I'm going to be honest, he has the best domain in the series. I'm not saying he'd beat Gojo or Sukuna. Theirs would just win because, how do I say this? The actual push and pull is stronger, but in terms of actual domain, like utility, and how many buffs and debuffs it gives, Yuta's is the best, like by far. It's way better than Infinite Void, Malevolent Shrine. It's just like leagues and leagues better than them. I just mean in the actual buffs and debuffs, not including, if it's open or not, or if it would win in a push and pull. Those are like two separate things in my opinion. And also, stream elements, the bot, reminding, do leave a like. It does help push the stream up, so if you do leave a like, thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Thank you very much. Anyway, back to it. Yuji says, "This is it," and he's got like 2 exclamation marks. Here we go. He can't complete the palm sign with just the top and bottom of his right hand, obviously because they need to be opposite hands. His reverse curse technique still isn't functioning, and here we go. It's the Yuki moment. We all work together to last this long, so we can win. Yeah, it's over. As you see, an awesome panel, by the way, right underneath Yuji. You just see sparks of black. Well, obviously lightning. It's just sparks of black lightning. It's so cool. It's actually so cool. And then we see the next page, black flash, as, oh my god, Sukuna just hits an actual black flash from LaRue. LaRue, like, blood flying out. LaRue's out of commission, man. There's no way LaRue gets up from this. Or maybe eventually, but it's going to take a long time. And some healing from Shoko. Satoru Gojo regained reverse curse technique after 2 black flashes. As for the King of Curses, ... chapter ends. Classic terrorism from John Wary. Classic, a lot of poorly worded things, even mistranslations, and getting a lot of things wrong. But, are we surprised at this point? LaRue bomb. Hey, Quirkless. What's up, man? What is up? One of the GOAT YouTubers. Shout out Quirkless. I mean, LaRue, in all fairness, it's Sukuna, getting a hit black flash by Sukuna is pretty crazy. I think they did okay. Given I really wasn't expecting anything from LaRue, so at least they were better than anything I could have imagined for them. Linguistic terror is pretty much like actual terrorism. How does there was an actual article made recently on John Wary and all the mistakes he's made. An article, like an official article made, and Viz still haven't done anything. Like, Viz do not care. There's he's trended. John Wary himself has trended. There are entire subreddits dedicated to John Wary and all the mistakes he's made. I don't know. Viz just doesn't care. I don't know. The only way I imagine John Wary still has his job is he must know someone personally who works high up in Viz. He must be close to someone there, and they're just not letting him fire him for that reason. He must have some deep connections for this guy to still be working all these years. John Wary, this goes back to years and years and years. It's not just JJK. He's done it for so many manga far before JJK, and I'm sure he'll do it far after JJK is done for other manga. So, yeah, Wary blackmailing Viz. He must know someone deep inside. He must know some insane, dirty secrets for him to not fire him. It is insane. Domain expansion, linguistic massacre, probably most accurate domain expansion for him. Open barrier domains could be harder to manifest than barrier domains. Yeah, of course. It's way harder. If not, Gojo would have just cast an open barrier domain after Sukuna had done it. It seems like there is quite a lot that goes into it. We don't know exactly how, the process of learning it. We don't know how you even get it. It seems like at least 2 Heian Era sorcerers have it. Maybe it's just something that was lost to the modern day. We even saw Megami's never done an open barrier domain. If I'm not mistaken, did Megami's barrier have a domain have a barrier? Let me actually go back to that. Wait. Because I know, okay, I know, no, I'm not talking about Tokyo Colony, by the way. I know that was, he used the gymnasium as a barrier. I mean when he used it against the finger bearer. Let me go back to that. Wait a minute. Did Megami's domain... I mean, it must have a barrier, right? Because, no, it didn't have a barrier. Wait. When he used it against the finger bearer. What chapter was that, by the way? It must have been 60, no, 50 something. Let's see. 58, I'm just gonna guess. 58. Let's see what happens if I go on that chapter. It should be around the Death Painting arc. Let's see. It was! Oh my god, I just randomly guessed it. Well, to be fair, I had a good idea. It's the exact chapter I was looking for, 58. First try, that's what I'm talking about. Alright. So... yeah, he uses area expansion, that's so weird. So, let's see. He casts domain expansion inside of the innate domain. It's a bit weird. So maybe he didn't need a barrier because he was casting it already inside of a barrier, because if I'm not mistaken, this is the innate domain of the finger bearer or something. So that's probably, yeah, because he's casting a domain within it, so maybe that's why he didn't need to have a barrier. Maybe. I could be wrong about that. I'm just like guessing. I mean, it's a bit odd. He used the surroundings as a barrier? I don't know, in the finger bearer fight he didn't though. Like, you can see there's no barrier in the finger bearer fight. Like, the innate domain is still around him. It's just the floor becomes the garden, if that makes sense. An innate domain or a building is needed. Yeah, I imagine that's why, because he's already within a barrier. So that probably helped quite a lot. I mean, still, it would have been so cool to see Megami in his full potential, him using an open barrier domain, which is, it was kind of like foreshadowing that it was going to go to that sort of path or route for Megami, his power up. What would Megami's shirt hit be? We don't actually know. It could be like, basically he could have 10 different shirt hits because he has 10 Shikigami, and it could be, let's say he wants Nue to, like the electricity of Nue to guaranteed hit someone. It could be something like that. Or maybe like Mahoraga swing would be guaranteed or something, I don't know. Potential man? Yeah, his potential is insane. Do you consider Culling Game as a barrier? So you use it twice within a barrier. I get, no, it's a bit different though. I think using like a super massive barrier like the Culling Game is quite different from actually being inside an innate domain. If that makes sense. Because the Culling Game barrier is like a standard regular barrier, like we've seen even what's his name, Ichiji can do something like that. But an innate domain is like you're actually expanding your own domain, you know, obviously onto the real world. I don't really know, to be honest. Like, I'm just assuming that's why. If not, then Megami actually just did an open barrier domain right then and there, which shouldn't be possible because we know Megami, as he says during Tokyo Colony, he needs a barrier to use his domain, which is why he used the gymnasium against Reggie as a barrier. So he does need it. So the only solution could be the innate domain counted as a barrier. It must have held it in place. That's the only answer. Is Gojo coming back? I mean, is Gojo coming back? Is Gojo coming back? By the way, I do think that the wallpaper engine, the reason it crashed at that time is because of the Sukuna wallpaper. Because now I put the Yuji one up and it didn't crash. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Hamza. Thank you very much. That's much appreciated. Thank you. Alright, let me put the Gojo wallpaper. Where should I get Gojo on? How about this one, maybe? This one's pretty cool. Look at that. This is for Gojo's return. I'll put this because Gojo's coming back, of course, right? Surely Gojo will come back, surely. And let me actually add those images too. Let me add image, where is that? The images that I got from the video. So I don't know if you guys actually saw my Gojo's coming back video. That video did really well. I guess people really want Gojo to come back. God damn. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I want him to come back. I'm so hopeful. And, you know, it's like, as a wise person once said, as long as there is hope, there is cope. Actually, let me make a slideshow, not just one image. Let me do a slideshow so I can show a lot of pictures. Or maybe I can show... Actually, wait, I have a better idea. So first of all, I'll put this. Okay, it's kind of taking up the chat. Let me move this here. Hey, Alonzi, what's good, my guy? Sorry I couldn't make it. Stuck in the car. No worries, I know you had work. It's still... Gonna be streaming video Wednesday. That's gonna be cool. Shout out Lonzy. Gojo wallpaper looks much better. I mean, yeah, shout out Gojo, man. Here we go. First, we got the meme here. I'll put this here. Alright. Because I don't want to take, like, cover Gojo's, face. He's quite handsome, people like to look at him, so I'll leave him up there. Let's put another image too. Of Gojo, of course. Image. I'll put the image that people are throwing around of Gojo actually coming back. Where is it? Here we go, I got it. Oh wow, that took up quite a lot of the screen. My bad about that. Bring it down here. So this is the image in case you haven't seen it. Basically this half that you can see, you guys can see my mouse, right? No, you can't actually. So I'm just highlighting nothing. So the part that you see on the left here that's been added in is art from volume 26 in case you missed it. Like, Gege has drawn the art. So people are saying, oh, Gege has drawn... Let me move this behind the chat actually, so it kind of comes here. People are saying that this was Gege showing Gojo waking up, but people are saying, most people are actually saying, it's Gojo getting cut. He's reacting, he's seeing the cut come, because you can see his eyes glowing. You can see the highlight over there. So, pick your poison. Are you going to cope, or are you going to say he got cut? You know me. Obviously, I'm on the Gojo's coming back, copium, because, I don't know. I mean, if you've seen the video, you know my opinion of it. Picture of Gojo's giving lobotomic Kaisen. It's pretty crazy. Sukuna wallpaper, the OG one. Yeah, the issue is, like, when I put that one up, it crashes. I don't know why. Like, 3 times I put that one up and it crashed. The wallpaper engine. I mean, I have Sukuna ones, but not the OG. Not OG form. You really gotta be coping? Yeah, it's cope. I can't even lie. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. It's pure cope thinking Gojo's coming back. But you know what? I'm a cope. I am going to, as long as there is hope, there is cope. And where there is cope, there's Kaya Breeze. I mean, there's like a whole bunch of issues if Gojo comes back or if he doesn't, Alonzi says, let's see, I don't think Gojo should return for Sukuna. Tengen is his real problem and he should return when the merger becomes a main free. Yeah, I agree. That sounds, I mean, I just want him to come back. I mean, again, if the theories are true, where he loses the 6 eye or 6 eyes to come back, he is going to be so unbelievably nerfed. He might even be weaker than Yuta or Hikari. Like, he might be that nerfed. Because Sukuna confirms, yes, you actually need the 6 eyes to manipulate the Limitless. You can't use the Limitless without 6 eyes, which is why Yuta did it. So, who knows? Who knows? It's a bit tough. Like, all the concerns that I had of Gojo coming back, in case I made a video on when it actually happened, like why it would be bad writing if Gojo came back. A lot of the concerns and criticisms that I had would be, if Gojo came back, it would take away from the students. I wanted the students, if you've seen that video, to fight Sukuna. I want each student to get their highlight. I want everyone to get their shine. Gojo coming back would undermine that, and because he's already fought Sukuna, why would we get him back again? But 20 chapters later, those addresses have already been concerned. We've had every single student, even some people who weren't even meant to fight Sukuna, like Kusakabe, fight Sukuna. You obviously bar Hikari, but Hikari... It's Hikari, man. He's not him. He's on the bench. Like, who cares? Like, we're talking about relevant characters. So in terms of like anyone who's relevant, and even Miguel. Miguel's way more relevant than Hikari. It is what it is. He's the GOAT. He's literally the GOAT, man. Everyone's for Hikari. Sukuna. So Gojo can come back in that aspect, like just in that type of way. But then there is like the concern and criticism. Again, this came from me in my own video I made back then, that it would actually undermine the very chapter 236 of Gojo going away. It wouldn't make it as impactful, because the reason it's so impactful is because he's dead, and it wouldn't make it as so. That's fair criticism. Like, that's fair. That's actually fair. Like, it's true that chapter wouldn't hit as hard. And you could argue, and I would argue this, that at least the talk to Geto and like coming back, that stuff would still hit as hard. Like, that wouldn't be diminished at all if Gojo came back. But what would be diminished is the whole, you were magnificent, I will never forget you for as long as I live, Gojo smiling, all of that. Yeah, it just wouldn't be as strong. It's true. It is true. But I wouldn't mind it though. I wouldn't mind it. Because people coming back, I don't know why there's there's this notion with people where it's like, the X character came back, bad writing, like people just finger point and say bad writing. You can have revivals be done and it be good writing. The reason people think it's not good writing is because it's just rarely executed well. For example, with Fairy Tail, with 50 Fate, and I love Fairy Tail to death. It's one of my all-time favorite series. I own like all the volumes. You know, I collected all when I was a kid. I absolutely love it. It's my childhood. But like, there's no denying that there's like 50 million fake out deaths, and nobody actually died. Like, that's just bad writing. And the same with One Piece, where it says like the X character dies, Y character dies, and they all come back. And again, One Piece is actually like, fantastically written, but that's just criticism of it. But you can write people coming back to life in a good way. And an example of this is Yuji. Like, Yuji, no one's saying that was bad writing when Yuji came back like 50 times. You can have people resurrect and it not be bad writing. So it depends on the execution. You know, a fellow Fairy Tail fan, yes. I actually, I'm gonna sound so old. I swear, I was a little kid when I started. I have been watching Fairy Tail since the very first episode came out, like since it originally came out. So let me search on Google when that was, because I remember I was in year 5. I was watching Fairy Tail, and I remember it was a new thing. Everyone was hyping it up, like, wow, there's this new anime Fairy Tail. So year 5 for me. So I was born in 2001. Year 5. Wait, how old did I have been? I don't know. Let me search Fairy Tail anime release. Oh man, I am. See, I'm not old per se. I've just been 2009. Oh my god. Maybe I am old. Maybe I am old, man. Maybe I am old. Oh my god. I'm not old. I was just a kid. I was just a kid when I was watching it. That's what was going on. Alright? You know, just me on that Fairy Tail grind. So I was year 4, actually. Death is supposed to be impactful, not half-ass. It's fair. Like, it's a bit tough. I would say a lot of the issues that I have of Gojo coming back would have been addressed, though. So personally, for me, I wouldn't be too pressed about it. Like, I would have been very pressed about how he come back after he had died, but now they've had all the students fight him, I don't mind. I really don't. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people say it is, but I can still see the criticism of it. Born in 2009? Oh my goodness. Alright, maybe I am old. What? You shouldn't be here. Wait, you should not be on the stream if you were born in 2009. Wait a minute, this whole channel is not meant for you. Then, what is the point of Yuji? Again, I don't know why. Again, I never said Gojo coming back. He has to come back and beat Sukuna. I never said that. I never said this. What I'm saying is... How to explain this? Actually, if anything, I'm saying the opposite, because I'm saying he's going to lose the 6 eyes, and he's going to be so weak that he would probably be weaker than Hakari and Yuta. Like, if not a lot weaker than them, because he wouldn't be able to control the Limitless. So he would come back, maybe he would at least be on that level. Like, it would still be Yuji's job to actually beat him. 2009 is crazy. Watched my first anime less than a year ago? Really, Alonzi? What? Damn. Listen, I'm only 22. Alright, listen, I'm not that old. I swear to God, I'm only 22. Alright, damn, I feel older. I feel very old. But I'm born 09. Oh, born 06, sorry. Born 03. Yeah, I was only born in 2001. See, I'm not that old. Right? Right. Yeah, but I've been watching since I was in year 3. I've been watching and reading manga. That's when I started watching Naruto. Or actually even younger than that, I was watching Naruto. But year 3 is when I started reading and collecting. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what manga was at the time. I just knew that they were like graphic novels. I knew it wasn't comics. It was just called graphic novels. And I was collecting them of Naruto. And like, I remember my dad actually got me first volume of Naruto because I loved it when I was watching it. I still remember it, getting it. And I started collecting them one by one. Oh, yes, it was great. Always going to Waterstones. And that's how I would actually read it. I would actually read it volume to volume is how I'd read it. And after I'd caught up, I would just wait for the new volume to come out and read it out. Though I started to read online when I was in like year 4 and 5 with my brother. Because I remember like when Sasuke told, what's his name, Obito, that he actually wanted Itachi's eyes when I was reading that weekly. As a kid, I was like, oh, this is so crazy. Or Obito's reveal, that was insane as well. Like, goddamn. He watched Naruto on Cartoon Network. For me, it was Nickelodeon. Or was it Cartoon Network? I'm pretty sure it was Nickelodeon that showed it. Unless I misremembering. Yeah, year 3? Goddamn, I'm starting to think I missed out. Year 3 for me, by the way. I don't know what... Wait, Alonzi, how old are you, by the way? I'm really curious. I actually don't know. If you want to say. What is the best Jujutsu's in your opinion? 6 Eyes Limitless, Cleaviness Mantle. It's pretty much the standard answers, to be honest. Copy's probably the best without limitations. Akari's is garbage. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. What else? Dragon Ball is my childhood. Same. You get me. And see, I watched Naruto clips from on YouTube. Say, I watched all of Hunter x Hunter, the original. So this is before the remake came out. I watched all of it through YouTube. You guys, only you guys remember. I'm sure a lot of you do. how back in the day you would have 3-hour fights, 4-hour fights on YouTube, no cuts, nothing. Like, it was just the fight. It was the full fight. I missed that so much. Before YouTube was like getting copyright. Like Cell versus Gohan, Frieza versus Goku, like the entire fight from beginning to end. Oh, it was beautiful. The playlist, yeah, that's how I was watching Hunter x Hunter, man. That's how I was watching Hunter x Hunter. Oh, and like Lucci versus, I miss like basically what people would do is they put only the fight parts of a fight and not the in-betweens. And this was great for One Piece, because for One Piece, fortunately, a lot of the fights have like fights or stuff taking place in between it. So you could watch Luffy versus Rob Lucci, the entire 30-minute fight, all of it, with no like skipaways where it goes to anything else. It was so cool. It was so great. Watch like 100, 200 episodes of Naruto filler, constantly wondering if they're gonna find Sasuke each episode. See, I'm glad I was aware of filler, because I read the graphic novels as a kid. I'm very glad, because I cannot imagine, like, so again, half of OG Naruto, the second half it's all filler. Oh my god, it's insane. I turned 20 this week. Hey, happy birthday! Wait, this week? Wait. So was it your birthday already? Because this week's like Sunday. It's about to finish. Happy birthday! Damn, I must have missed it. Happy birthday! Shout out, turn 20. Happy birthday, man. All filler, yeah, it is tough. It is tough. A fourth Great Ninja War. But yeah, I mean, nowadays, copyright. Bro, I can't even put clips in my videos without having to like zoom in 50%, not have it be more than 10 seconds, reverse the image, like, oh my god, I'm doing all these things to avoid copyright, and like, it's just insane. It is absolutely insane. And I get it. To be honest, okay, I'm not saying it's not just, it does make sense why it exists, but I still do miss, being able to watch everything on YouTube. Oh, Jutsu, is that what you're saying? Best Jutsu in Naruto? Oh my god, that's tough. That's tough. I guess Sharingan, it's such a basic answer, but it's true. Sharingan's awesome. Rasengan's awesome. Like, Rasengan has so many variants. The Ninetales Cloak is pretty cool. Flying Rinnegan? I mean, do you mean Flying Raijin? Thanks, bro. Yeah, happy birthday, Alonso. Imagine JJK is your first anime manga? That's tough, man. Congratulations, congratulations, Budoza. Thank you for subscribing, CWow Brown. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you also, I don't know how you say his name, Silen Max? Thanks as well. Much appreciated. But yeah, I mean, hey, who knows, man? 10 years from now, how many years from now, people will be remembering JJK like, oh, I remember reading JJK Weekly, Gojo vs Sukuna Weekly was insane. I mean, you'll be able to say that in a couple years. Just how it goes. Just how it goes. You still watch Bleach fights on YouTube in 360p. That's how it was, man. That's how it was. That's how it was, man. I mean, regardless, though, it's still cool. We got, like, Crunchyroll, obviously, the official, and a bunch of, like, other websites you can watch anime and stuff on. But, of course, the whole point of the stream, we read the official chapter, supporting the officials. JJK already classic. I mean, the popularity is absolutely, like, mind-boggling how popular it is. It is crazy. And it really took out. No, I remember like reading Goodwill, because I've been reading JJK again since chapter 1's come out. I've been reading weekly. Yeah, like I remember Goodwill. It wasn't that popular because I used to have a different Twitter account back in the day, and I remember people getting so hyped for Panda's transformation. If any of you were reading back then, involved in the community, like when Panda transformed into a gorilla, people were losing it. Like, wait a minute, Panda has a transformation. This is so insane. I remember that. That was awesome. Hey. My besto furendo. Angel. Cool name. What's up, Hana? Appreciate the $9.99 to the 10. Thank you very much. And Angel says, here, but stop the hate on my boy Hakari. You know what? I promise you for the next 10 minutes I won't slander Hakari. I'll promise you that much. But I can't promise you anymore after that. Like, I just have to. I gotta. He is an ice star. Wait, I'm not gonna say actually. I said for 10 minutes I won't. So it is 44:30. When it hits 54:30, I will go back to the Akari sign. Until then, I won't say anything. I got you. Appreciate the 10. I wish I read Shibuya Weekly. It was quite awesome. I can't lie. Especially the Sukuna versus Jogo stuff, because that came out of left field. I cannot explain how insane it was to read that. I read that chapter so many times when that happened. It was so cool, because I was like, holy shit, man. Sukuna, because we'd never seen 15-fingered Sukuna in action before. Like, we were truly getting to see Sukuna fight, and Jogo, you know, who's this monster who's like super powerful. It was just seeing Sukuna watch him, and seeing the reaction of Sukuna going in like, don't move, if any source, like, I cannot explain how insane I was reading it weekly. That was insane. Yeah, people were, man, people were. It is a bit sad. Hey, heavy weather. Go with YouTuber, good to see you. Did I hear Akari slide? Listen, I'm not going to slander Akari for the next 10 minutes, because Angels don't know, so don't worry. At least for until, again, 54:30, I remember. I won't slander Akari until then. But yeah, people are actually shitting on Mahito versus Yuji weekly. It's a bit sad, but yeah, like, I'm not even kidding. A lot of people saying it's boring, it was dragged out, like, oh, I can't even believe it. Obviously, thank God, it's just the week, like, everyone complains and cries weekly, but obviously, thankfully, like, after it's done and dusted, people look back on it, now people are saying it's like 11 out of 10, like, people switched up. People are saying it's like greatest fight of all time, which is it. It is a fantastic, it is a top 5 shonen. And I'm glad people are able to appreciate after time has passed. And obviously, that's what happens to the Culling game. It's what happened to every single colony. Like, again, Hakari versus Kashimo. I imagine a decent amount of you were reading it weekly. That was getting a lot of hate at the time. Not in the beginning, but in the second half of the fight, a lot of people were hating on that fight, saying it was dragged out, boring, and especially repetitive. That came out a lot, saying he's just casting Domain again. It's just not ending. Like, this is so boring. It's just hand to hand. Obviously, looking back, now people are saying it's like a top 3 or 2 fight in the entire series. I imagine it's going to be the same with Sukuna now. Like, people are saying, oh, this is boring, this is this, that, and the other. Like, it's... I've been here, I've done this dance 10 times. I've literally experienced this so many times in the community. It is just history repeating itself again and again. It's just happening on a larger scale because JJK is more popular than it's ever been because of Gojo vs Sukuna. And it's not surprising. Like, people are saying, oh, it's boring, it's just that. They've said this for every fight in JJK. They were even saying this for Gojo vs Sukuna. They're saying it was a domain expansion. Just like, it was literally just a domain fest. Obviously, Gege then addressed the issues by having them lose the domains, but people were complaining at the time when it was happening. It's just weekly. Just people are going to complain weekly, saying, you know, it's boring, Sukuna's winning, we know what's going to happen. But when you look back on it in a complete format, when it's all done and done, obviously people are going to love it. It's just how it is. And people always say, I'm not going to switch up, I'm not going to say that I hate this so much. But then they always switch up. They always change. Like, once it's done, every time. I have been here, guys. I have been here since Chapter 1 came out weekly. I've seen this happen for Sakurajima, Tokyo Colony, Akari versus Kashimo, Mahito versus Yuji. I've seen it is just repeated itself again and again. And here we are again, like, the same criticisms, the same thing. And then obviously, when all this is done, like a couple months from now, we look back, everyone's going to say it was peak fiction. And they love the Sukuna Kaisen fight. It's just how it is. It's how it is, man. I don't know what to say. When Sukuna gets fucked up, they say it's peak. I mean, yeah, who doesn't want to see the heroes winning? You know, I guess, like, it's a cliche, it's a trope, but it's true. It's why people do, like, always have the heroes winning in stories. People want to see that. You know what I mean? Mahoraga? Oh my god. You just reminded me of Shibuya Weekly. Oh, that was insane. Like, Mahoraga coming out of nowhere. Again, I was a bit shocked when the cliffhanger came of Megumi, and Megumi was passed out, and we see Haruto was being towered over by something. I didn't actually know what was going on at the time, because obviously we knew Megumi summoned it the chapter after, because it goes into a flashback. But yeah, seeing Mahoraga come out, and then Sukuna fight, oh my god, it was insane. Like, you just had to be there, man. You had to be there. Wanted Aizen and Madara to win? I'm glad they didn't. Like, I do want happy endings, you know? It's cliche, but I want a good ending. Like, I can't tell you how great it was seeing Naruto, you know, be Hokage, obviously, then Boruto came. Which isn't canon. Boruto isn't canon, by the way, you know. Didn't happen. Let's actually switch up the music to how about this? Let's see how this is. Some Bleach. Let's put this here. Here we go. Obviously, this is the song I play quite a lot in my videos, so you've probably heard this a lot. It is Bleach OST 3, Clavar la Espada. I think that's how you say it. I'm probably mispronouncing it. Let's turn this on. Alright, let me know if it's too loud, by the way. If it's too loud or too low, I can adjust the volume. So just let me know. There we go. Need my bittersweet ending? No, I want a happy ending. Listen, I don't care if it's cliche, I don't care if it's whatever. I want the happy ending, man. Give me the wholesome, positive vibes ending with a good message. Give it to me. Any anime recommendations? Free Rent. Free Rent it just finished, 20 episodes. It is so unbelievable. I would say it's anime of the year, like easily anime of the year. Free Rent. It's new, fresh. People are still talking about it, and it's peak. Like it's absolute peak. It's one of the top anime of all time. There's ReZero as well. ReZero is fantastic. Like, that is amazing stuff. If you like comedies, Konosuba, that's very funny. If you like comedy, Apothecary Diaries, that's great as well. Apothecary Diaries is very good, actually. It's very good. Solo Leveling, I mean, if you like action, yeah, Solo Leveling. If you really like action, that is just amazing, to be honest. Mob Psycho 100, you can't go wrong there. I hope Kubo does justice with Ukitape character. We can see his Bankai. I mean, maybe we'll see if he actually, does the, what is it called? Hell On. I really hope he does it. I have been waiting for that for years. It has been like, what, 3 years since he drew that chapter? ReZero on my list. Oh, ReZero is peak, man. It is so good. So good. I can't explain how good it is. Tayo opinions on ReZero censorship? I think, okay, censorship can be good and bad. I think in this case it's very good. Okay? Because, okay, I'm not even going to get into it, but, okay, are we talking as what I think we're talking about, right? Like the censorship on, I don't want to say spoilers for those characters, but you know which characters I'm talking about. Like with their clothes? Because if so, then I think it's good. I think it should have been. I have no issues with that. Because I'm not going to lie, the original designs were insane. No, in a good way. Again, no, censorship a lot of the times is bad, but I think this is like a rare case of it actually being very good. You know? Hell arc with Yamato as the villain? I mean, Yamato, Hell... Yeah, I think it's all the same character, yeah. Are you reading Arc 8? No, I haven't actually read ReZero since quite a while, actually. It's quite a while. It's been like a full year I stopped reading ReZero. Not because it was bad, just kind of letting it build up. I knew Season 3 was coming out. Yeah, kind of letting it, and obviously letting the light novels catch up as well, because I'm reading the web novels. Future Diary was a crazy ride. Fun fact, actually, I read all... sorry, not read. I watched all of Future Diary in one day. And I remember... So, what year was that? It was like year 10 or 11. I can't remember. I was really bored one day. I was like a young teen. It was a weekend, and I really, just from the early morning until I just watched it all. If Future Diary is the one I'm thinking of, it's the one where like there's a tsundere girl, right? It's that one. Summertime Rendering. I need to watch. That has been because on my list for ages. Like since episode 1 has come out, it's been on my list. I still haven't read it. I watched it, sorry. I need to get on that because people are saying it's like ReZero. Please don't spoil Summertime Rendering for me. What's your favorite dinosaur? I'm not familiar with dinosaurs. I guess like a velociraptor. I don't know many dinosaurs. I know like all the basic ones that everyone knows. But Alucard sweeps. Yeah, Alucard is pretty OP. How would he do against today? He tank a domain actually. Yeah, he'd do it. Any domain. He's very powerful. Seven Deadly Sins was peak until all the width. Yeah, oh my god. Don't even get me started on that, man. Don't even get me started. Because again, Old Man Kyle, I was watching it since the very first episode came out, and I was reading the manga weekly since then. And I cannot tell you how incredible it was to be reading the manga when all of the insane stuff was happening. Like Escanor versus Meliodas. Oh, it was so peak. It was so unbelievably peak. Like with all the demons. It was so great. And then the anime butchers it. The anime just absolutely butchers it. Oh my god. And I don't even get me started with the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse. Like, it's a good concept, but it's just so weird of the whole, like, underaged people, underaged kids. Oh, it's so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. Like, why does the author do this? Like, I have so many questions of this author, man. Like, why? He makes such a great world, such great characters, and he just makes them all, like, I can't even say it. I think I'll get this stream demonetized, but PDF files, you know PDF file? You know that file? Like that. That's code for, you know what I'm talking about. Like, why is he doing this? Why? Why have you done this to the series? Oh my god. It was already bad enough in Seven Deadly Sins, but in 4 Nights of the Apocalypse made it 1,000 times worse. In case some of you aren't aware, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse is the actual sequel to Seven Deadly Sins. Which, by the way, I don't know why not many people are aware of that. There's only one thing I know about Seven Deadly Sins. It's strange. Yeah, it's strange. Like, again, when it was coming out, when season 1 came out, even season 2, it was like hyped. Everyone loved it. It was peak fictional. The manga was godlike, the art. But then obviously the anime from after season. Even season 2 wasn't that good. It was not even nearly as good as season 1. But season 3 and 4 were god awful. The movie was awful, and then the manga. I don't know, man. VIZ review out. Yeah, we reviewed John Murray's Terrorism. We went over, and by the way, it has passed. We are at 55 minutes, so it has gone since 30 minutes. So, Hikari slander is back on. The Hikari slander is back on. Asuka deserved better, yeah. Won't Fortnite see the apocalypse? Yeah, I will. It's so weird. It's even worse than Seven and Sins and the weird stuff, man. Karia Bomb? I mean, dude, it has been 18 chapters. You're fighting the maid, the henchman, in an off-screen fight. And it looks like you're losing, but you're not even close to winning. Like, you're in your 25th jackpot, you're getting like jackpot after jackpot. And you're not even beating them. Like, you know, it doesn't even look like you're winning. Come on, Hikari, a heavy hitter? And you haven't even touched Sukuna? Oh my goodness, like Yuji's way more of a heavy hitter than Hikari. I mean, Miguel clears Hikari. Miguel would destroy Hikari. Like, it doesn't, like, who does Hikari? He loses to Yuji, he loses to Miguel, he loses to Maki or Yuta. Like, Rika might be able to solo him. Yuta could just, like, sick Rika on Hikari and beat him that way. You know what I mean? This is crazy. Hikari, 77th jackpot, like, holy goddamn Hikari, man, goddamn. Eskimo carry? I just thought it was great in general, like, at least the original, at least excluding... Oh man, why did the author do that stuff? Fortnite the Apocalypse just goes like on a completely different level of it. It makes it even unbearable, like, to the point you can't even read it. It's just that bad. Fortnite the Apocalypse. The fact that people think Hikari beats Yuta, yeah, like people, I have to make a poll now. People for some reason still think Hikari stands a chance. Like, I swear to God, it is Ramadan. Wallah, I'm saying this, Wallah on Ramadan. Hikari cannot be, if they were to fight 100 times, I'm not saying this because of agenda, I swear to God, I'm not saying this because of agenda. If they were to fight like 100 times, Yuta wins 100 of them. Like, there's no win con for Hikari. You could argue they're on a close level, they're on a similar level, but Yuta's just way better. Like, let me make a poll this. Who wins? Hikari. What should I put here? Gambler, Spammer, Yuta, the GOAT. Obviously there's no bias, you know, you won't see. Let me get some music. How about some Fairy Tail? How about that? Here we go. I play this as well in my videos. I'm sure you've heard. You don't have to poll it. Look at that, 75%. That's what I'm talking about. Maki isn't beating Yorozu? Yeah, probably not. Yeah, actually, no, she doesn't beat Yorozu. That's just a Maki. Hikari can outlast Yuta's 5 minutes. Yuta doesn't have time for it. Like, that's the issue. Now we know how his like domain functions. He doesn't even need a shot. He just, oh my god, he just beats Hikari. It's so bad. It's so bad. And the fact that partially manifested Rika is this powerful now. Oh my goodness. Yuta was an appetizer to the beast? Oh, no, listen. Let Hikari beat the maid first, and then we can start calling him a beast. Like, dude, he hasn't even touched Sukuna. Are you kidding me? Heavy hitter? That is not a heavy hitter in my book, man. That is not a heavy hitter. What attack does Hikari have that can hurt you? Nothing. Nothing. He has nothing. He has no attack. Like, again, he's pretty strong physically, but that's all he has. He has no lethality. What, is he going to throw Yuta in the water and expel his cursed energy? No, he doesn't have that plot nerf that Kashimo has. He's not going to fight next to it. How does he beat him? Hikari's domain is the fast. It's fast, yes, it's fast. And we do know in the Japanese it says that it's strong, only strong against tug of war. So it doesn't say it's immune, just strong against push and pull. Even with that definition, let's say Yuta can't like overwhelm Hikari's. Eventually Hikari would hit his jackpot, his domain would break, and he wouldn't be able to like cast domain for 4 minutes 11 seconds while he's in jackpot. Yuta would be able to Yuta would have his domain against Hikari, who has no domain to defend himself. Like, what does Hikari do? Even if he has a simple domain, it gets stripped away instantly. Yuta has a sure hit. He has no time on copy. He can dual wield copy, so he can basically use a copied ability on himself and dual wield with a sword to also use a copied ability. He has Rika with him. Like, Hikari just dies. Hikari actually died. I don't know what to say. Can't die. There's no way he wins. Like, Yuta just kills him, man. Yuta just atomizes him. I don't say. Unless, like, he can regen with no brain, which is possible. We don't know though. Unless he can. For the sake of my agenda, I'm gonna say no for the stream, but I do think he probably can. But exactly. There's no danger to Yuta. See, you get me. Alonso gets me, man. Alonso gets me. Hakari, man, domain merchant, hand to hand spammer, no lethality. What can he do? What does he do beside punch and kick? He's just the worst version of Yuji. He's basically Yuji, but he's just Yuji. But Yuji can do soul damage in his blood. Even Yuji has blood manipulation soul damage. Like that. And Yuji has reverse curse technique too. So, this is insane. Yuta was carried by Yuji, accepted, as if we were acting like Yuji with Higuruma's sword, Kusakabe, Ino, and Choso literally could not touch Sukuna. Like, he was getting bullied beyond belief against Sukuna with like 4 different guys. Seriously, it was so unbelievably hopeless before Yuta came in. Like, people were saying like Sukuna just won. They couldn't even touch Sukuna. Yuji alone could not touch him. Yuta comes in, domain, one hit, like all of a sudden Sukuna's bleeding from the head. Sukuna's like forcing his whole like a basket. He's like ripping his arms apart, destroying his soul of Jacob's ladder. Like Rika's boxing him up. I don't know, man. Yuta clean dismantling. So like, that sounds like copium for me, man. I don't know. Yuta's him. Again, Yuji's him too. I don't want to slander Yuji. Why are you making me slander my boy? Why are you making me slander my good boy Yuji? Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this. Kaio, do you think Hakari loses to all of that? No, Hakari beats all of his ass. That's like every single one of them. He absolutely obliterates them. Mahito's actually way better for Mahito. It depends. Mahito depends. Does his automatic reverse curse technique heal soul? Does it do that automatically? Because the narrator just said it's a bodily reflex. By that definition, it's not likely that it heals the soul as well because it's the body doing it, not the soul. So if it doesn't, to be honest, he beats... I know, then he wouldn't be able to damage Mahito, would he? Mahito's like a tough case. Mahito's a very tough case. Because it's also damaging him. To damage Mahito, you need to be aware of the soul. I would say if he can heal, because he is so much faster than Mahito. Like, Mahito wouldn't be able to see him move. Hakari is that much faster and stronger. But the issue is, like, actually damaging him. But I would argue that if he can heal from the soul, soul manipulation, then yes, he'd just, outlast him, I think. He would beat him so much that Mahito would just run out of cursed energy. He'd burn out. Like how he's going to do against... What's his name? Mekamaru. Choso beats the disaster curses of no domain. Base to base, right now, Choso solos any disaster curse. All of them. Including Mahito, because he's aware of his soul and all that stuff. He would destroy all of these... We're just saying base to base, so no domains involved. Like, seriously, Jogo, Haname, like, right now, a piercing blood from Choso would rip apart Haname. He's that much stronger right now. Because obviously he's got, buffed. Beyond belief. Whatever cheating they've done has made them all stronger. Would go, toe-to-toe with Jogo. It's insane to say, but power cliffing, is the thing. Zizu says, what? It's called power cliffing. It is what it is, man. Choso the fodder? I mean, yeah, Choso... We saw he's got the same reinforcement as everyone else. Or else, A, you wouldn't have jumped in with everyone else, and B, we just saw him tank and dismantle like it was nothing. Even though it's nerfed, it's still, to be able to do that, you can't harm Mahito. I mean, he's aware of his soul. He does harbor another soul inside of him. Actually, wait. He said, no, because Choso said he, unlike Yuji, wasn't aware. So he might not be able to, right, actually. Maybe not, then. How do you think about that? Would there be any win con for Choso to win a blood manipulation? Because I guess it's would it be poisonous to Mahito because it's human blood as well? I guess that's a win con. Because Choso's blood is cursed blood, but also human blood. So, because it poisoned humans, you could also argue maybe it poisons curses because he's half human. So maybe that would actually poison Mahito. That's a good win con for him. Maybe. Maybe he could win that way. I don't know, actually. Choso beats 10-fingered Sukuna? No, he doesn't. No, they said Jogo was 8-9 fingers in terms of cast energy. That doesn't mean he's as strong as 8-9 fingers. Because even Mahito says, 3-fingered Sukuna's soul was on a different level compared to Jogo. Even though he had less cast energy than him. I would even say 5-fingered Sukuna would obliterate Jogo. Even though Jogo is 8-9 fingers. Yeah, sounds about right to be honest. Because my opinion on finger scaling has changed quite a lot. Yeah, he'd probably lose to 4 or 5 fingers pretty badly. Kenjaku's being generous to Jogo? Yeah, but I think it was also a matter of cursed energy, maybe. It's a bit weird, like Sukuna finger scaling is so inconsistent and weird, and it's just never been explained, so it's basically making assumptions. Unluck as better than JJK and Sakamoto. Like, I actually have it better than both of them. I'm not saying I like it more, maybe I do like it more, but just in terms of writing, I actually think it's incredible. Do you think Takaba will face Sukuna? The reason Takaba hasn't fought Sukuna yet is because he just ended the story. He's too strong. He's too strong, man. Gege needed to bench him. Let me replay that song as well. And I even made videos literally the week before 236 came out, so the week before he died, I made 2 videos. One of them literally titled Sukuna's already won. And a lot of people were hanging on that video saying, how can you say that? Kusukawa just said Gojo's won, you know, Gojo has a chance of winning, and then next chapter, Sukuna's won. So that video aged very well in the short term. And I made a big video with no-op, like a very big one at the time, like halfway during the Gojo vs Sukuna fight. 3 different times, like 3 different pages were hinting at foreshadowing it on it. His own backstory, like, oh man. And then obviously, like, even though we're still getting the merger, it would have been cool to see Kenjaku's reaction to the merger, because that's his entire character arc. The whole point the Culling Game even started is because he wanted to see the mergers, because he wanted to see what it looked like. That's why we have Kenjaku. Even if we get the merger, it's not going to be nearly as impactful. He's already planned out the end, and certain things that need to, like, key points in the story need to happen, but he literally is going with the flow for the entire story. Like, everything we see in JJK is going with the flow, or he's thinking about in the moment, which is a bit sad. Hey, wait, is that the real fake weeb? Because, wait a minute. I swear to God, the, wait, because I